number of coronavirus cases in the capital have been rising in an alarming rate in recent time, with the valley reporting more than 900 cases yesterday. Earlier on Monday, an agreement was signed for the supply of the Russian vaccine Sputnik V to Nepal. However, the uncertainty over its arrival on the top of the vaccine still awaited final clinical trial results clearly states the situation is still daunting for the countrymen. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. The federal capital reports the highest single-day coronavirus cases of 934 cases yesterday. Government fails to expand testing parameters. Construction of the Nijgard International Airport stalled with Swiss contractor company backing out. Government on the lookout for another company. The long-awaited verbal battle between US President Donald Trump and the presidential contestant Joe Biden gets off to a heated debate. The Delhi capital falter in the run chase as Sunrisers Hyderabad chalk out their first win of the IPL. Rashid Khan shines with 3 crucial wickets. 1,513 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the country yesterday, taking the coronavirus tally to 76,258. 10 more individuals succumbed to the virus yesterday, taking the COVID-19 death tally to 491. According to the Health Ministry, the federal capital reported 934 new cases yesterday. This is the highest single-day case recorded in Kathmandu Valley so far. 747 cases were reported in Kathmandu district alone, 114 in Lalitpur and 73 in Bhaktapur. Likewise, Morang district reported 101 new cases, Rupandehi 95, Chitwan 62, Pake 41 and Kailali 27. Meanwhile, 731 individuals were discharged yesterday after registering full recovery. With this, the number of recoveries so far has reached 55,371, taking the recovery rate to 72.6%. According to the ministry, there are 20,396 active cases in the country, out of which 9,689 are in isolation centers, while 10,707 are in home isolation. The ministry informed that 34 patients are receiving treatment in ventilators, while 213 are in intensive care units. The Health Ministry has said a total of 10,891 swab samples were tested yesterday through the PCR method, taking the test tally in the country to over 1 million as of the latest updates. The federal capital recorded highest single-day cases yesterday. The number of cases has been rising on a daily basis. However, testing and contact tracing has been relatively sluggish. Hospitals in the capital are crowded with people willing to test for the virus on their own. Many have reported of being compelled by their landlords to go for the test. Meanwhile, local levels have failed to expedite tests. We have more in this report.
Kathmandu Valley had reported 3,457 coronavirus cases a month ago. As of Tuesday, the number has risen to 23,260, which is more than 30% of total active cases in the country. Half of the total active cases of 18,877 in Kathmandu district are from the Kathmandu metropolis. Coronavirus has been rapidly spreading at community level and has been reaching record highs in the past 5 days following the resumption of businesses and public movement. Meanwhile, contact tracing has been sluggish at the local levels. As per government data, 500 swab samples are being collected from the metropolis on a daily basis against more than 600 infections reported every day. The scenario is no different for Lalitpur and Bhaktapur. Some 11,000 samples are being tested in the country on a daily basis. However, local levels have failed to play their role by supporting sample collections based on contact tracing. Members of the public have been compelled to take up tests on their own out of public pressure from their landlords. The Health Ministry has itself accepted of its failure in expanding testing parameters.
अहिले विशेषतः काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिका भित्रको जनघनत्व र परीक्षण सबैलाई हेर्दाखेरि यसलाई अझ सुदृढ गर्दै यसलाई अझ राम्रोसँग पढाउँदै अझ धेरै व्यक्तिहरूलाई हामीले समेट्दै जानका लागि कामहरू गरिराखेका छौं।
The government, against its own claims, has not been able to execute over 23,000 tests a day. Experts have warned weak contact tracing and lack of testing will not augur well for the COVID-19 scenario in the country.
The construction of the Nijgard International Airport, one of the national pride projects, is in limbo as Swiss contractor company Zurich International failed to submit the financial and technical proposal despite deadline extension. The Tourism Ministry is now seeking for a new company as the Swiss company sent a letter of extent expressing its reluctance to take up the project. We have more in this report.
7 companies had expressed interest in constructing the Nijgard International Airport during the investment summit held back in March 2018. Out of the 7 companies, the investment board chose Swiss-based Zurich International last year and directed the company to submit a financial and commercial proposal within 45 days. However, despite deadline extension, the Swiss-based company failed to submit the documents. Instead, the company sent a letter of intent, stepping back from the project without disclosing the reason. The Nijgard International Airport has been considered an alternative to Kathmandu's Tribhuvan International Airport. The government has given green signal for the construction of the airport with the construction period of 5 years and has been allocating budget for the project for 6 years now. In the ongoing fiscal year, the government has allocated 500 million rupees, while the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal has allocated 30 million for the project. The total budget for Nijgard International Airport is estimated to be around 400 billion rupees. However, with the backing out of contractor company, in addition to compensation issues, squatters' settlements and environmental issues has pushed the fate of the project to uncertainty.
Most of the lockdown measures have been downgraded to resume daily life and economy amid a daily spike in coronavirus case. People have started to flock the market as the festive season is round the corner. Meanwhile, the health scenario in the country could deteriorate if adequate safety measures are not adopted amid the looming health crisis due to the coronavirus. This is a glimpse of a crowd in the capital's Asan market on Tuesday. The hustle and bustle have returned amid the pandemic in the Asan market, that is a hub for people to purchase food items to garments, among other essential items. The country has reeled under lockdown and prohibitory order for 6 months to contain the spread of the virus. Most of the places in the country have eased prohibitions amid the surging rate of infection. Likewise, the major festivals of the country, Dashain, Tihar and Chhath, are fast approaching. Shopping and travelling ahead of the festivities are likely to escalate. Likewise, the COVID-19 infection is likely to intensify with the negligence of people as the government has lifted strict measures to ease the daily life. In the meantime, the government has urged the public to adopt extra precautions and follow preventive health guidelines in a bid to contain the spread of the virus. It is essential for people to adopt additional precautions while going to the markets or travelling in public vehicles during this time of the festivities. Meanwhile, the crowd management is becoming a challenge for the government. People and households are at the risk of contracting the virus if both the business owners and service seekers lack minimum awareness. And in our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Humla and Surkhet what should be done to avoid food scarcity. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
स्थानीय उत्पादन भएका चीजहरुलाई चाहिँ हामीले खाने बानी व्यवस्था बसाल्नु पर्यो.
हुम्लाको खेती योग्य जमिनमा राम्रो सिंचाइको व्यवस्था गर्नुपर्छ. त्यसपछि कृषि प्रणालीलाई सुधार गर्नुपर्छ.
धान्य बालीहरु पर्याप्त मात्रामा उत्पादन हुन्छन् तिनलाई बढावा दिनु पर्यो. जस्तै वर्षेनी कृषिले करोडौं रुपैयाँ अनुदान स्वरूप बाँड्ने गर्छ. ती केही राजनीति क्षेत्रमा पहुँच भएका राजनीति चिन्जान भएका आफन्तहरूलाई मात्र बाँडेको छ.
मोटर बाटोको अति आवश्यक छ.
म सरकारलाई त्यही भन्न चाहन्छु।
त्यहाँको भौगोलिक बनावट के छ, त्यहाँको हावापानी कस्तो छ, सोही अनुसार हामीले खेती गर्न लाउनुपर्छ।
And time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what's your take on road expansion works by encouraging cultural spaces? The options are option A, demand of development, option B, apathy towards culture, and option C, power play. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.